After. I watch TV after I finish my homework. Although. You can copy down my answers, although I'm not sure they're right. And. The air was clean and fresh. As he was busy he couldn't come. As he did exactly as she told him. As he was getting into the bath, the telephone rang. As I get up as early as you do. As if. He looked as if he was going to cry. As long as. I will remember you as long as I live. As soon as. I'll ring you as soon as I am free. As well as. Please bring your swimming suit as well as your towel. Because. I liked this film because it was funny. Because of. I was late for the concert because of you. Before. Think carefully before you start to answer the exam questions. Both and. Both the brother and the sister were punished. But. I wish I could go, but I am too busy. By the time we arrived, someone had grabbed all the good seats. Directly. I will write the letter directly I get home. Either or. You can have either beer or wine. Even though I was very tired, I couldn't sleep. 4. He felt no fear, for he was a brave man. How? I don't know how to get to your house. However. You can do it however you like. If I see him, I'll speak to him. In case. Keep your receipt in case you need to return the goods. In order. They have decided to close down the school for the summer in order to do some major repairs. In spite of. I'm not tired in spite of working all the day. Lest. He ran away lest he should be seen. Like. It was just like you said. Neither nor. We found him neither at home nor at the library. Not only, but also. We go there not only in winter, but also in summer. No sooner than. No sooner had I got into the house than the phone rang. So as. He is not so simple as you suppose. Now that. She's much more mobile now that she's bought a car. On condition that. I accept on condition that he will assist. Only. I'd call him myself, only I am at work all day. Once I get him a job, he'll be fine. Or. We must hurry or we will be late. Or else. Make haste or else you will be late. Seeing that everyone's here, let's begin. Since. We have been friends since we went to school. Since. We must stop here since it is impossible to go on. So. It was late, so we went home. So that. He stepped aside so that I might pass. So that. The restaurant was so expensive that we could only afford one dish. Supposing it rains, what will we do? Then. You are taller than me. That. The problem is that no one knows what will happen. Unless. I will not go unless the weather is fine. Until. He ran and ran till he felt bad. Who? Do you know who has come? Whose? They are speaking about the inventor whose article I showed you yesterday. What? I don't know what delayed him. Which that? Did you see the letter which came today? When? I don't know when the shop will close. Where? We found him just where he had said he would be. Why? I don't know why they are late. Whereas. He likes tea whereas she prefers coffee. Whether. He asked me whether I needed any help. While we were on holiday, someone broke into our house. Yet. The work is good, yet it could be better. At home. I left my phone at home. At work. Is Tom still at work? At school. I didn't see Tom at school today. At university. I study at a university in Boston. At college. He studied economics at college. At the bottom. Write your name at the bottom of the paper. At the side. He was standing at the side of the road. At reception. I was at the reception. At the corner. He turned to the left at the corner. At the bus stop. Jane is waiting for you at the bus stop. At the door. Please take off your shoes at the door. At the top of. He lives at the top of the hill. At the end of. The shop is at the end of the street. At the entrance. Please wait for me at the entrance of the building. At the crossroads. The truck driver dropped the stranger at the crossroads. At the front desk. I left you a message at the front desk. At table. Can we sit at the table over there? At breakfast. He read his newspaper at breakfast. At hand. I always keep a dictionary close at hand. At peace. Both countries are now at peace. At war. In 1943, Japan was at war. At 3 o'clock. Be at the station at 11 o'clock sharp. At 10:30 a.m. He usually goes to work at 8 a.m. At noon. I'll call you at noon. At bedtime. My father used to read to me at bedtime. At sunrise. I woke up at sunrise. At the moment. I'm busy at the moment. At night. The stars shine at night. At the weekend. What did you do at the weekend? At Christmas. I stay with my family at Christmas. At the same time. Don't do too many things at the same time. At present. He's not home at present. Try later. On a bus. I lost my glasses on the school bus. On a train. I'm already on the train. On a plane. I had never been on a plane before. On a ship. I was born on a ship. On a bicycle. What price a ride on your bicycle? On a horse. Tom got on a horse and followed Mary. On the radio. I listened to the news on the radio. On television. There's nothing good on television now. On the left. The bathroom's on the left. On the way. He saw the accident on the way to school. On the wall. There was a no smoking sign on the wall. On the ceiling. I saw a fly on the ceiling. On the door. He pasted the notice on the door. On the desk. He put the book on the desk. On the cover. The author's name is on the cover of the book. On the floor. I live on the 7th floor at 21 Oxford Street in London. On the carpet. Tom noticed blood on the carpet. On the menu. There are no prices on this menu. On a page. The book ends on page 364. On foot. It takes an hour to get to the station on foot. On Sunday. Are they open on Sunday? On Tuesdays. I come home at 2:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On April 6th. I arrived on April 6th. On board. Are all passengers on board? On credit. Don't buy things on credit. On holiday. I'm here on holiday. On sale. The tickets for the concert are on sale here. On Christmas Day. Do you go to church on Christmas Day? On my birthday. My grandson never fails to phone me on my birthday. On New Year's Eve. Many stores are open on New Year's Eve but may close early. On business. He's out of town on business. On a business trip. Tom is away on a business trip. On Sunday morning. I will leave on Sunday morning. On Friday afternoon. She doesn't have class on Friday afternoons. On Monday evening. Where do you go on Monday evenings? In a car. Can I stay in the car? In a taxi. We all jumped in a taxi. In an office. Do you work in an office? In a helicopter. Have you ever been in a helicopter? In a boat. You can go there in a boat. In a lift. I'm stuck in a lift. In the newspaper. I read about him in the newspaper. In the sky. You can see a lot of stars in the sky. In a row. Please line up in a row. In the solar system. Jupiter is in the solar system. In Oxford Street. I bumped into her quite by chance in Oxford Street. In the garden. I found Tom in the garden. In London. I have a meeting in New York. In France. Do you live in Japan? In a box. Tom put all his stuff in a box. In my pocket. I always carry it in my pocket. In my wallet. I've got $30 in my wallet. In a building. Smoking is not permitted in the building. In May. She changed jobs in May. In the summer. We're going to Canada in the summer. In 1990. I was born in 1982. In the 1990s. It happened in the 1990s. In the next century. What will be life like in the next century? In the Ice Age. The UK would be warm and wet early in the Ice Age. In the past. That's all in the past now. In the future. I'd like to avoid this problem in the future. In the morning. I left in the morning. In the mornings. There's a lot of traffic here in the mornings. In the afternoon. I like to swim in the afternoon. In the evening. I take a walk with my dog in the evening. In conclusion. In conclusion, I want to say. In debt. Tom is drowning in debt. In detail. He described the process in detail. In fact. In fact, I was born in Boston. In mind. Always keep that in mind. In time. Can you get the work finished in time? In trouble. Are we in trouble again? By air. When I travel, I prefer to travel by air. By chance. I met him on the street by chance. By day. Owls usually sleep by day and hunt by night. By hand. My grandmother knit that by hand. By heart. It took me an hour to learn the poem by heart. By land. They invaded the country by land and by sea. By mail. I'll send the book by mail. By means of. We communicate by means of language. By mistake. Excuse me for opening your letter by mistake. By name. The teacher called each student by name. By phone. Tom can be contacted by phone. By post. I'll send the book to you by post. By train. Did he come by bus or by train? Anne used to talk about something for the first time. Abacus. A device used for counting and calculating by manually sliding counters on rods or in grooves. Abandon. To leave something or someone forever. Abandonment. The act of leaving something or someone forever. Abase. To behave in a way showing you accept that another person has complete power over you. Abash. To make someone feel ashamed. Abate. To become or to make something less active and intense. Abatement. The act of becoming or making something less active and intense. Abattoir. A building where animals are butchered. Abbreviate. To make a word or expression shorter by including only some letters or by including only the first letter of each word. Abbreviation. A short form of a word or phrase. Abdicate. To refuse to be responsible for a particular thing, especially if one used to be. Abdomen. The region of the body of an animal or person between the thorax and the pelvis. Abdominal. of or relating to or near the abdomen. Abduct. To take someone away using force. Abecedarian. A novice learning the rudiments of some subject. Aberrant. Markedly different from what is usual or normal. Aberration. A state or condition markedly different from the norm. Abet. To encourage or help someone to commit a crime. Abettor. One who helps, encourages, or incites another to commit a crime. Abeyance. A temporary state of not being used or happening. Abhor. To hate a particular way of thinking or behaving, especially because one thinks it is immoral. Abhorrent. Morally very wrong. Abide. To tolerate something or someone unpleasant. Abiding. Lasting for a long time and not likely to change. Ability. The physical or mental power to do something. Abject. Showing humiliation or submissiveness. Abjure. To formally reject or disavow a formerly held belief, usually under pressure. Ablaze. Experiencing or showing a very strong feeling or emotion. Able. Having the necessary means or skill to do something. Ablution. The act of washing oneself, often as a part of a religious ceremony. Abnegation. Renunciation of one's own interests, especially in favor of the interests of others. Abnormal. Not normal, especially in a bad way. Aboard. On a ship, plane, train, bus, or other vehicle. Abode. The place of living. Abolish. To officially make a law or regulation no longer be in force. Abolition. The act of ending officially a system, practice, or institution. Abominable. Extremely bad or unpleasant. Abominate. To hate something strongly. Aboriginal. An indigenous person who was born in a particular place. Aborigine. One of the dark-skinned people that were first to live in Australia. Abort. To terminate a pregnancy when the baby is too young to live, or to give birth to the baby too early so that it is born dead. Abortion. An operation to terminate a pregnancy. Abortive. Failing to succeed. Abound. To exist in large quantities. About. In reference to concerning. Above. Higher than something else. Abracadabra. Foolish or nonsense talk. Abrade. To wear something away by friction. Abrasion. A process of damaging some surface by rubbing it away. Abreast. Side by side and facing the same direction. Abridge. To make a book or other piece of writing shorter while keeping the most important elements. Abridged. Made shorter while the most important elements have been kept. Abridgment. A shortened version of a written work. Abroad. To or in a foreign country. Abrogate. To officially end a law, agreement, etc. Abrogation. The act of abrogating an official or legal cancellation. Abrupt. Sudden, unexpected, and often unpleasant. Abruptly. Suddenly and without warning. Abscess. A collection of pus formed in a cavity of the body. Abscond. To escape from a place where you have been kept, or to secretly leave a place, especially taking something that does not belong to you. Absence. A state of not being in a particular place or not existing. Absent. Not being in a particular place or not existing. Absenteeism. Frequent absence from work. Absent-minded. Tending to forget things and not paying attention to what is happening because concerned with one's own thoughts. Absinthe. A strong green alcoholic drink flavored with wormwood and aniseed. Absolute. Perfect or complete or not limited by anything. Absolution. The act or condition of being formally forgiven by a priest in the sacrament of penance. Absolve. To officially free someone from guilt or responsibility, especially in religion or law. Absorb. To take in liquid, gas, energy, light, etc. Absorbed. Giving something complete attention. Absorbing. Interesting, enjoyable, and keeping one's attention for a long time. Absorption. A process in which something takes in gas, liquid, light, heat, etc. Abstain. Do not do something enjoyable, as drinking alcohol or having sex. Abstemious. Sparing in consumption of especially food and drink. Abstract. A painting consisting of shapes that are not meant to resemble real people or things. Abstracted. Lost in thought, showing preoccupation. Abstruse. Very complicated and therefore difficult to understand. Absurd. Completely unreasonable or foolish. Absurdity. The state of being ridiculous and unreasonable. Abundance. A large amount of something. Abundant. Present in large quantities so that there is more than needed. Abuse. Improper or excessive use of something. Abusive. Characterized by physical or psychological maltreatment. Abut. To be next to another building or area of land, especially touching it on one side. Abysmal. Extremely bad. Abyss. A very big and deep hole in the ground. Academic. A person who teaches at a college or university or whose job includes studying. Exceed. To agree to a certain demand or proposal. Accelerate. To move or happen faster, to cause something to move or happen faster. Accent. The relative prominence of a syllable or musical note, especially with regard to stress or pitch. Accentuate. To make a particular feature of something more noticeable. Accept. To agree to something or to receive something that someone offers you. Acceptable. Good enough or proper for a certain purpose, situation, etc. Acceptance. An act or a state of approving something, official agreement to an offer. Acceptor. A person or an institution that accepts a check or a bill of exchange. Access. The right to enter or use something. Accessibility. a quality of being easy to understand. Accessible, easy to reach, obtain or use. Accession, an official act in which someone gains access to new office, power, etc. Accessory, an additional part of equipment or clothing that is not essential. Accident, a situation that is not planned in which someone is injured or something is damaged, for example involving cars. Accidental, happening by chance rather than planned or intended. Accidental death, an expression used by a court of law to state that someone's death was caused by an accident and it was not suicide or murder. Acclaim, to publicly praise or approve someone or something. Acclaimed, publicly praised or approved. Acclamation, loud, enthusiastic approval. Acclivity, an upward slope or grade. Accolade, great praise or approval, or tangible symbol that signifies it. Accommodate, to provide a place to live or to have enough room for people or things. Accommodating, helpful and willing to do favors. Accommodation, a place to live, stay, etc. Accompany, to go or travel with someone, to happen at the same time as something. Accomplice, a person who helps someone do something wrong, especially commit a crime. Accomplish, to finish something successfully, especially after putting a lot of effort into it. Accord, a state of agreement or an official agreement between countries, groups, etc. Accordance, a state of agreement. According to, as believed or stated by someone, in agreement with something. Accordingly, in a way that is proper for a certain situation. Accordion, a musical instrument shaped like a box and held in both hands, played by pushing two sides towards each other while pressing buttons and keys. Accost, to approach someone and speak to them in a threatening way. Account, a description of a certain event or process. Account executive, a person in a company who is in charge of contacts with clients. Account number, a unique number that a bank account has, used when one wants to send money to it. Accountability, responsibility to someone or for a certain activity. Accountable, responsible to someone or for a certain activity. Accountancy, an activity of keeping records of how much money a company spends and earns. Accountant, an expert in making a financial record of business transactions, etc. Accounting, an activity of keeping records of how much money a company spends and earns. Accounts, a record in which information about money spent and earned by a company is kept. Accouter, to provide with military equipment. Accoutrements, the equipment that is necessary for an activity or way of life. Accredit, to officially approve of someone or something, especially because they have reached an acceptable standard. Accreditation, official approval to operate or do something, given especially because of having reached an acceptable standard. Accredited, officially recognized as reaching a certain standard or quality. Accretion, A process of gradual increase or improvement by addition of new things. Accrual. The act of accumulating over a period of time. Accrue. To accumulate over a period of time. Accumulate. To collect more and more things or to gradually grow in number over a period of time. Accuracy. The quality of being near to the true value. Accurate. Very close to fact or truth without any mistakes. Accuse. To say that someone has done something wrong or broken the law. Accuser. A person who claims that someone has done something wrong. Accustom. To get used to a certain situation. Accustomed. Adapted to a certain situation. Ace. A playing card with a single mark, usually with the highest or lowest value in a game. Acephalous. Lacking a head or a clearly defined head. Acerbic. Clever and cruel at the same time. Acerbity. A quality of being clever and cruel at the same time. Acetic. Relating to or containing acetic acid. Ache. A continuous pain, usually not very strong. Achieve. To gain something with effort. Acid. A substance whose pH is below 7. If it is much below 7, the substance can burn holes in material or damage one's skin. Acid rain. Rain containing harmful substances caused by chemicals coming from cars, factories, etc. Acidic. Having a sour taste. Acidulous. Moderately sour to the taste. Acknowledge. To admit or recognize the existence of something or to declare something is true, to report a receipt of something. Acknowledgement. The act of admitting or recognizing something is true. Acme. The highest level or degree attainable, the highest stage of development. Acne. An inflammatory disease affecting the sebaceous glands of the skin, characterized by red spots on the face and neck. Acolyte. Someone who assists a priest or minister in a liturgical service. Acorn. Fruit of the oak tree, a smooth thin walled nut in a woody cup-shaped base. Acoustic. Relating to the sound, its properties and the way it is heard. Acoustics. The properties of a room or building that affect the qualities of sound, or the study of the physical properties of sound. Acquaint. To become familiar with something or to get to know someone personally. Acquaintance. A person you know but not very well or the relationship with the person. Acquainted. Knowing a particular person or being familiar with them. Acquiesce. To accept or agree to something, especially if one is not willing to. Acquiescence. Agreement with a statement or proposal to do something. Acquiescent. Willing to carry out the orders or wishes of others without protest. Acquire. To come into possession of something or to gain a certain feature, knowledge or experience. Acquired. Obtained through environmental forces. Acquisition. The act of gaining a certain object or knowledge, experience, etc. Acquisitive. Wanting to possess a lot of things. Acquit. To decide that someone is not guilty. Acquittal. An official decision that someone is not guilty of a particular crime. Acquittance. A verdict of not guilty. Acre. A unit of area used in English-speaking countries equal to approximately 0.4 hectare. Acres. A large area of land that the owner keeps for their own use. Acrid. Criticizing someone and expressing anger. Acrimonious. Involving people who get very angry and argue a lot. Acrimony. Feelings of anger, especially between people who strongly disagree. Acrobat. An athlete who performs acts requiring skill and coordination. Acronym. A word formed from the first letters of the several words in the name of something such as an organization. Across. On, at, or from the other side of. Across the board. Very broad in scope, affecting everyone or everything in a particular situation. Act. Something done. Acting. Doing temporarily someone else's job while the usual person is absent. Action. A series of events that form the plot of a novel, movie, etc. Action-packed. Full of interesting and exciting events. Activate. To make something as a chemical process or electrical system start working. Activation. The act of making something as a chemical process or electrical system start working. Active. Always busy doing many things. Activity. Any action or behavior done for pleasure or to achieve an aim. Actor. A man performing in a film or play. Activist. An actor or actress taking on a certain political or social cause. Actress. A woman performing in a film or play. Actual. Happening or existing in reality, not pretended. Actually. In actual fact, in reality. Actuary. Someone who calculates risk of certain accidents, working usually for an insurance company. Actuate. To be the reason why a person behaves in a particular way. Acumen. The ability to think quickly and make correct decisions, especially in a particular field. Acute. Very serious, strong or intense. Ad nauseam. To a sickening extent. Ad valorem. Calculated in proportion to the value of certain goods. Adage. A commonly known phrase that says some truth about life. Adagio. A composition played slowly and gracefully. Adamant. Unwilling to change one's opinion or decision. Adapt. To change something to suit a new purpose or to get used to a new situation. Adaptable. Able to change in order to be successful in new situations. Adaptation. A film or television program that is based on a written work such as a book or play. Add. To give more so as to increase in size, quantity. Addendum. Textual matter that is added onto a publication, usually at the end. Addict. A person who cannot stop taking a particular drug. Addicted. Unable to stop taking a particular drug. Addiction. the state of being abnormally tolerant to independent on something that is psychologically or physically habit-forming. Addictive. Making you unable to stop taking or doing that particular thing. Addition. A thing that is added to something, usually improving it. Additional. Being something more than was expected or agreed, extra. Additive. A substance added to food in order to improve its taste, appearance, etc. Addle. To confuse someone, preventing them from thinking clearly. Addled. Confused and unable to think clearly. Add-on. A supplementary component that is added to something to improve it. Address. The act of speaking to someone. Addressee. A person to whom something is addressed. Adduce. To advance evidence for something. Adduction. The act of moving a body part towards the central axis of the body. Adept. Good at something that requires knowledge and skill. Adequate. Good enough for a certain purpose. Adhere. To be compatible with or to obey a rule, maintain a certain belief, idea, etc. Adherent. A person who supports a particular belief, political view, party, etc. Adhesive. A substance that is sticky and can be used to glue things together. Adipose. Composed of animal fat. Adjacent. Situated next to something else. Adjoin. To be next to something else, especially touching it. Adjoining. Situated next to something else, especially touching it. Adjourn. To suspend a formal meeting or gathering. Adjournment. An act of suspending or terminating a formal meeting or gathering. Adjudicate. To officially judge who is right in a disagreement. Adjunct. Something that is added to something larger or more important. Adjunct professor. A person teaching at a college or university who is hired for a fixed period of time. Adjuration. A solemn and earnest appeal to someone to do something. Adjure. To ask or try to persuade someone to do something. Adjust. Change something or regulate to make it more accurate or to adapt oneself to new conditions. Adjuster. A person who investigates insurance claims or claims for damages. Adjustment. An act of regulating something or a state of getting used to new conditions. Adjutant. A military officer who is responsible for office work. Ad lib. Said with little or no preparation or forethought. Admin. A person who works in advertising. Admass. A part of the society that is easily influenced by mass media. Administer. To manage or control execution of something or to be in charge of it. Administration. Activities of managing a company, organization, etc., or people who do this work. Administrative. Concerning managing a company, organization, etc. Administrator. Someone who administers a company, organization, etc. Admirable. Having many good qualities that are worth respect and admiration. Admire. To feel respect towards someone and approve things they do, or to look at something or someone with pleasure. Admission. The act of letting someone enter or the right to enter. Admit. To declare to be true or to agree that something is true or someone is right. Admonish. To tell someone they have done something wrong in a severe way. Admonition. A warning concerning someone's behavior. Admonitory. Warning or criticizing. Ado. Delaying or wasting time. Adobe. Earth mixed with straw made into bricks and dried in the sun. Adolescence. A time in a person's life when they are growing up, usually between the ages of 12 and 18. Adopt. To accept something new or to officially approve some proposal, idea, etc. Adoption. The act of accepting or starting using something new. Adorable. Filling one with affection because of being attractive and often small. Adoration. The worship given to God or a god. Adore. To love someone very much or to like something very much. Adorn. To add something to a person or thing in order to make them look more attractive. Adornment. The act of decorating something or the decoration itself. Adroit. Skillful and clever, especially in the way one thinks or speaks. Adulate. To praise someone, especially more than they deserve. Adulation. Praise and admiration someone receives, especially if it is greater than they deserve. Adult. A person who is more than 18 years old. Adulterate. To illegally mix drink or food with a substance of lower quality, for example water. Adulteration. Illegally mixing drink or food with a substance of lower quality, for example water. Adultery. A situation when someone who is married has sex with a person that is not their wife or husband. Adumbrate. To describe something roughly or to give the main points of something. Advance. A movement forward or progress in development. Advanced. Ahead in development at a higher level. Advantage. A quality of having a better position than something or a good quality of something. Advent. A time when something is widely used for the first time. Adventitious. Associated by chance and not an integral part. Adventure. A journey experience that is strange and exciting and often dangerous. Advergame. An advertisement in the form of a video game. Adversary. Someone who offers opposition. Adverse. Contrary to your interests or moving in an opposing direction. Adversity. A difficult situation that seems to be caused by bad luck. Advert. To turn one's attention to something. Advertecture. An advertisement that is painted on a wall. Advertise. To make something known in public, especially because you want to sell it. Advertisement. A public notice promoting something. Advertising. A public promotion of some product or service and a branch of industry connected to those activities. Advertorial. An advertisement resembling an editorial or journalistic report. Advice. A piece of information given to someone suggesting how they should behave or what they should do in a certain situation. Advice note. An official document with details of goods that have been sent from a supplier to a customer. Advisable. Worthy of being recommended or suggested, sensible or wise. Advise. To suggest someone what they should do in a particular situation or to inform somebody of something. Advisedly. With intention or after thinking carefully. Advisory. Giving advice, suggesting what people should do in a particular situation. Advocate. To officially support a certain idea. Aegis. Protection or support given by a person or organization. Eon. An immeasurably long period of time. Aerate. To put air or some other gas into a liquid or into a solid material, such as soil. Aerial. An electrical device that sends or receives radio or television signals, usually made of a piece of wire or metal. Aeronautics. The theory and practice of designing and flying planes. Aeroplane. A flying vehicle with wings. Aesthete. A person who professes great sensitivity to the beauty of art and nature. Aesthetic. A set of principles concerning beauty, especially in relation to art. Aesthetics. The study of beauty, especially in relation to art. Affable. Friendly, open and easy to talk to. Affair. Something that is dealt with or considered. Effect. To have an effect upon something. Affectation. Behavior that seems artificial and insincere. Affected. Artificial and insincere. Affection. A feeling of love, liking or care for a person or place. Affectionate. Showing feelings of liking, love or care. Affidavit. A written statement sworn to be true. Affiliate. To join a larger group, especially about organizations, companies, etc. Affiliation. A social or business relationship or an act of becoming formally joined. Affinity. A natural ability to understand something. Affirm. To declare something as true. Affirmation. An act of declaring something as true. Affix. To attach to or add at the very end of something. Afflatus. A strong creative impulse or divine inspiration. Afflict. To make someone or something suffer from a problem, illness or misfortune. Affliction. A cause of suffering and distress, especially a medical condition. Affluence. The state of having much money and many possessions. Affluent. Having very much money and many possessions. Afford. To have enough money to buy or do something or to be able to give up something. Affordable. That you have enough money for. Affray. A noisy quarrel or fight. Affreight. To hire a ship in order to transport certain goods. Affreightment. An act of hiring a ship in order to transport certain goods. Affricate. A composite speech sound consisting of a stop and a fricative articulated at the same point. Affront. To treat, mention, or speak to someone in a disrespectful way. Aficionado. A person who is very interested in a particular subject or activity. Afloat. Having the financial means to operate. Aforementioned. Being mentioned before in an earlier part of an article, book, etc. Afraid. Filled with fear. African. A person from Africa. After. At a later time than. After hours. During the time of the day when most offices are already closed. Aftercare. Care and treatment given to someone after they leave hospital. Afterclap. An unexpected, usually unpleasant event following a matter that had been considered closed. Aftermarket. A secondary market that becomes available after sales in the original market are over. Aftermath. The consequences of an event. Afternoon. The day from noon until sunset. After-sales service. Additional services that are offered as a result of the sale of a certain product. Afterthought. The act of thinking again about a choice previously made. Afterwards. After something else has already happened. Again. Once more. Against. Contrary to or in a direction opposite to. Agape. With the mouth wide open as in wonder or awe. Agate. An impure form of quartz consisting of banded chalcedony, often used as a gemstone. Age. The length of life, number of years lived. Aged. Having a particular age. Ageism. Discrimination because of someone's age. Agency. An administrative unit of government. Agenda. A list of matters to be dealt with. Agendize. To place something on a list of things to be dealt with. Agent. A representative who acts on behalf of other people or organizations. Agglomerate. To form into one cluster. Aggrandize. To enhance the power, position, or reputation of someone or something. Aggravate. To make a situation or disease worse. Aggregate. A sum of many things taken together or the whole amount. Aggregation. The act of gathering something together. Aggression. Threatening behavior that often involves harming someone. Aggressive. Showing or having great determination to achieve something. Aggrieved. Angry and unhappy because someone has treated you unfairly. Aghast. Looking shocked by some unexpected information. Agile. Able to think quickly and in an intelligent way. Agility. The gracefulness of a person or animal that is quick and nimble. Agio. A fee charged for exchanging currencies. Agitate. To publicly argue for a political or social change. Agitated. Nervous, upset or worried. Agitation. A mental state of extreme emotional disturbance. Aglow. Shining with light and warm colors. Agnostic. Claiming it is not possible to have true knowledge about the existence of God. Ago. Earlier than the present time. Agog. Highly excited about something. Agonize. To spend time anxiously thinking about something, trying to make a decision. Agonizing. Causing pain or anxiety. Agonism. A political theory according to which there are some potentially positive aspects of certain forms of political conflict. Agonistic. Related to fighting. Agony. A very difficult or unpleasant experience. Agrarian. Relating to land, farmers and farming. Agree. To have the same opinion. Agreeable. Nice and pleasant, conforming to one's liking. Agreed. That has been previously discussed and accepted. Agreement. An oral or written statement of an exchange of promises. Agrestic. Characteristic of the fields or country. Agricultural. Related to farming. Agriculture. The practice of cultivating land or raising stock. Agro-industry. A branch of industry related to agriculture. Agronomist. An expert in soil management and field crop production. Agronomy. A branch of agriculture dealing with land management and crop production. Ahead. Moving in a forward direction or in front of something. Aid. An act of helping or supporting. AIDA. A term used in marketing to describe steps needed to do when selling a product. 1. Attract the attention of the customer. 2. Raise their interest. 3. Make them believe they desire the product. And 4. Lead the customer to take action of purchasing the product. Ail. To be ill or to cause someone to be ill. Ailment. An illness, especially not a very serious one. Aim. Something you hope to achieve by taking certain actions. Air. The mixture of gases around the earth. Air conditioner. An appliance or a system used to control the temperature and humidity of the air. Air conditioning. Controlling the temperature and humidity of the air by using an air conditioner. Air Force. A part of a country's armed forces that consists of airplanes, helicopters, etc. Air hostess. A woman serving food and drinks on an airplane. Airborne. In the air, moving by air, flying. Air-conditioned. Having a system to control the temperature and humidity of the air. Airfare. Money you need to pay for traveling by airplane. Air freight. A system of transporting goods by air. Airing. An occasion when something is discussed in public or shown to people, or when a program is broadcasted on radio or television. Airline. A company that provides flights for passengers. Airliner. A large airplane that carries passengers. Airmail. The system of transporting letters and packages by aircraft. Airport. A place where a plane can land and take off carrying passengers. Airtight. Not allowing air or gas to pass in or out. Airtime. The amount of broadcasting time that a certain subject has on radio or television. airworthy, fit to fly. Aisle, a passage between rows of seats in a church, theater, aeroplane, etc., or between rows of shelves in a shop. Ajar, slightly open. Akin, similar to something or someone else. Alabaster, white and very smooth. Alacrity, liveliness and eagerness. Alarm, fear resulting from the awareness of danger. Alarm bell, the sound of an automatic signal warning of danger. Alarm clock, a clock used to wake one up. Alarmed, experiencing sudden fear or anxiety. Albatross, a large web-footed bird of the southern hemisphere having long narrow wings, noted for powerful gliding flight. Album, a book used for collecting photographs, stamps, etc. Alchemy, a pseudoscientific forerunner of chemistry in medieval times. Alcopop, a flavored drink with a low alcohol content. Alcove, a small recess opening off a larger room. Alert, a warning informing people that something dangerous might happen. Alias, a name that has been assumed temporarily. Alien, a person who comes from a foreign country and is not a legal citizen of the country they live in. Alienate, to do something that makes someone stop supporting you. Alienated, finding it difficult to be a member of a particular group or society. Align, to arrange two or more things so that they form a straight line. Alignment, the state of being arranged in a straight line. Alike, in a similar manner. Alimentary canal, the tubular passage of mucous membrane and muscle extending about 8.3 meters from mouth to anus. Alimony, court-ordered money paid by someone to their former wife or husband after they are separated. Alive, possessing life, not dead. Alkali, a substance capable of reacting with an acid to form a salt and water. All, every person or thing of. Allay, to lessen the intensity of or calm. Allegation, an unproved statement that someone has done something wrong or illegal. Allege, to say that something is true or someone has done something without giving proof. Alleged, declared but not proved, often ostensible. Allegiance, loyalty for a particular country, ruler, group of people, belief, etc. Allegory, a story, poem, picture, etc. in which characters and events represent certain ideas related usually to morality or religion. Allegro, a musical composition or musical passage to be performed quickly in a brisk, lively manner. Allergic, having or relating to a condition that appears in contact with certain substances. Allergy, a condition that appears in contact with certain substances. Alleviate, to give physical relief as from pain or to make something less serious. Alley, a narrow street with walls on both sides. Alliance, a group of countries, political parties, etc. that agree to cooperate in order to achieve certain aims, also a state of such agreement. Allies, a group of countries that fought together in the First and Second World Wars. Alligator. A reptile related to crocodiles but with shorter, broader snouts, or the leather made from its hide. All in. Including total cost of something. Alliteration. Use of several words starting with the same letter to achieve a special effect. Allocate. To give something to a certain person or to use something for a special purpose, especially according to an official decision. Allocation. An amount of something set aside for a specific purpose or a decision to give a certain amount of something to someone. Allonge. A piece of paper attached to a bill of exchange, a check or other document on which additional information can be written. Allopathy. The usual method of treating diseases with remedies that produce effects differing from those produced by the disease itself. Allot. To give a certain amount or share of something to someone or something. Allotment. An amount of something set aside for a specific purpose or an act of giving a certain amount of something to someone. Allow. To let someone do something. Allowance. An amount of something that you are allowed or granted. Alloy. Metal consisting of two or more metals that have been mixed together. All round. Having many skills. Allude. To mention a person or thing in a way that is not obvious. Allure. An exciting, attractive or desirable quality. Allurement. The state of being attractive or a quality that makes someone or something attractive. Allusion. Something written or spoken that mentions a person or thing in a way that is not obvious. Alluvial. Made of material carried and deposited by water. Alluvium. Clay, silt or gravel carried by rushing streams and deposited where the stream slows down. Ally. A country that agrees to support another country, especially during a war. Almond. A small bushy deciduous tree native to Asia and North Africa having pretty pink blossoms, or one of its oval-shaped edible seeds. Almost. Very nearly, not quite complete. Alms. Money or goods given to the poor. Aloft. Up in the air. Alone. Without any others included or involved. Along. Moving forward or progressing. Alongside. Side by side. Aloof. Keeping a distance and showing no interest in others. Aloud. Using one's voice, not silently. Alpha girl. A girl who tends to dominate in a particular group. Alphabet. All letters used in the language. Alphabetical. Relating to the alphabet. Already. Before a specified time. All right. Used to say that someone agrees to something. Also. In addition to something else. Altar. The table in Christian churches where communion is given, or more generally, a raised structure on which gifts or sacrifices to a god are made. Alter. To make something different or to become different. Alter ego. A part of the human unconsciousness representing a deeply hidden part of one's personality, usually completely different than the regular one. Alteration. a slight change or process of such change.